How many of you recognize a habit that serves you well, like showing up on time? Thank you. Thank you for coming. And it's my pleasure to introduce Corey Watson. She married into the Harold and Eleanor Watson family, and she's an interior designer doing homes and some health units, and she's added on personal interior designing. She's been my buddy coach leader for the last 7 years of looking for achieving goals, noticing what works or doesn't work, and she's a master with energy and intuition. So I was really thrilled when she said that she would do this together with me today. My name is Jean Eyre, and I was a former chartered financial planner and action business coach. But I'm connected to Cardston with my mother, Mildred Jensen, worked in the town office for 24 years. Somebody's nodding over here. And she wanted to come today, but I told her it was too long of a day. The other connection was a serendipitous time of meeting Kathy Jensen, and she's the reason that we got invited to share time and ideas with you folks. So we're going to start out with the age-old question of who am I? And I'm going to get Corey to pass around a poem that we have about who am I, and we'll read through it as a beginning about habits. I forgot to tell you, what we're going to talk about is the power of good habits. It's the awareness of what's happening. It's about our environments. And we have a little tool that's called Above or Below the Line that helps make every day better and better. We'll be finished before 3:30, and again, when Corey is finished passing these out, we'll read them aloud, long and strong. Thank you, Corey. And you have one? Good. So, who am I?
I am your constant companion. I am your greatest helper or heaviest burden. I will push you onward or drag you down to failure.
I am completely at your command.
Half of the things you do, you might as well turn over to me, and I will do them quickly and correctly.
I am easily managed, but you must be firm with me. Show me exactly how you want something done, and after a few lessons, I will do it automatically.
I am a servant of great people, and alas, of all failures as well.
Those who are great, I have made great. Those who are failures, I have made failures.
I am not a machine, though. I work with the precision of a machine, plus the intelligence of a person.
You may run me for profit or run me for ruin. It makes no difference to me.
Take me, train me, be firm with me, and I will place the world at your feet.
Be easy with me, and I will destroy you.
Who am I? I am habit.
Thank you.
This is a nice little poem to have even in your room, because when Jean was reading it to me the first time, she didn't tell me what I am, and I was guessing all kinds of things. So it might be kind of fun for your families if you start just saying, well, what do you think it is? And it's actually just a habit.
And now Corey is going to do a demonstration for us, and we need you to keep your eye on what she's doing really close, because everything counts. Thank you, Corey. Even helpers.
Okay. These are just basic golf balls. We're just filling the jar.
We're going to see if she can put all those golf balls in that jar. Oh, look at her. She has done it. Do you need more golf balls? You got one left.
Okay, there's one golf ball there.
Okay.
Okay.
Have some more. Funny, they went in different this time. And
Okay, so is this jar pretty full? Would you say it's full?
pretty full. All in agreement? Okay.
Okay, do you think we can get more in here? Okay.
Do you want me to get some more golf balls?
Yeah. Okay. So now after, we're going to try and get a couple more golf balls in there, and then we're going to fill it right to the top here. Here is a colored golf ball. There we go. We're right to the top. Okay. This is pretty full. We couldn't get it any fuller than this. Okay? Yeah. Now, we're going to try, and we're going to fill it with rocks and see how many more things.
Wow. Boy. We have a disaster zone here now.
Okay.
We're being recorded.
All right. Now, how full is that? Can that get any fuller?
That's pretty full.
Okay. Now, let's see. We're going to fill it with sand. Okay, look at all that sand going in there. Wow, it's getting fuller and fuller by the minute here. It's hard to believe that that much sand could sift in between all the balls and all the rocks. And it's still going. Okay.
Is it full yet? Look at her. More and more. It's just eating it right up. And we need more sand.
No, that's pretty well right
Close
to the top
enough?
there. Okay, so now for you, they're over there. I can't see it very well. Can you see that better now? So we're right to the top with the sand. It's all through there. Okay, I heard somebody say we could fill more with water. Yeah, so now let's just start filling. So it just starts going down and down and more, and it's just
Do you think
amazing.
it'll take all of that?
See, it's going down, it's filling in between the cracks. It's bubbling up, and it just keeps going down. Even the color is pretty. There we go.
Is it full now? It's still going to take more?
It's still bubbling.
Wow.
You can really see it on this side here, bubbling in the rocks, because where it's going between the sand.
Good
Okay.
job, Corey.
So,
Does everybody agree it's full?
yeah, what we're here to show you is that the jar is your life. So just think of the jar as your life. So when you see the jar here, it just represents your life. Then we start to fill it with the sand and the rocks and the golf balls. And so the golf balls represent the important things in your life, like your health, your family, your friends, and your children. And the pebbles are the other things that matter to you, like your home, your job, your environment where you're staying, and your cars, and everything else. The small stuff is the small stuff that we take care of, like laundry, cleaning your house, doing dishes. all the little stuff that's a little bit of a distraction. And the water in the top represents once you have everything in the right order in your life, you have your priorities, then the water that goes in there is like the magic. It's the blessings that come to you. So if you put the sand in first, if you filled the sand to the top, would there be any room for the golf balls? No? If you put the rocks in first, would there be any room for the golf balls? No. So everything has order. So what we're trying to show you in here is habits impact our life, either consciously or unconsciously. And unconscious means you're not aware of it. It's like if somebody bonked you on the head, then you'd be out and you wouldn't know what's going on. But sometimes in our life, we actually live like that. We just go on automatic pilot and things just start falling into place. Okay, so I'm just going to show this to you. And you see a little pussy cat and you see the lion. So does everybody see that? Okay, so what we're looking at here is, where are you? Are you the pussy cat or are you the lion? Are you aware of your habits? Are you aware of your attitude? Are you aware of your environment? And are you aware of clutter in your life? Which clutter is a lock on the gate that keeps abundance out. Because if your world is in a big clutter, then you feel overwhelmed, you feel like you can't move ahead. Everything is not the way it should be. You're living in an illusion. So habit, we're going to do a demonstration on habit just to show you how sometimes you put the sand in first and the golf balls last and you're not even aware of it. So we'll just do a demonstration here.
Okay, now if you'll just put your hands out in front of you.
Put all your papers on your lap. Okay, put your hands in front. Now bring your hands together and then just close them.
And bring them together, close your hands together, and notice which thumb is on top. How many have their right thumb on the top? Oh, about half of you. How many have your left thumb on the top? The other half. Okay. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Nobody's had that before that I've been with, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that?
Mine is almost side by side.
Oh,
Side by
okay.
side. She, instead of having hers on top, hers feels comfortable side by side. Okay.
Okay, I'll just hold the mic while you guide.
Okay, now take your hands and open it up. Open your hands apart. Now bring them back together and put the opposite thumb on top.
And how does that feel? Uncomfortable?
Does it feel odd?
It does feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so let's do it again. Separate them.
And put your
Bring
odd
them
finger.
back together. The uncomfortable one on top. And now let's just hold it there for a minute. And is it starting to feel a little more comfortable as you're holding it? Yeah. Put them apart again once more. And together again with the uncomfortable thumb on top. So what we're doing is demonstrating that every habit, when you change it, feels uncomfortable at first. And if you do it more and more often, and you hold it there for a while, you start to become comfortable with it.
So now take your hands apart and just relax them there. So awareness, so you had an awareness right now of what it feels like to have the other finger crossed. So awareness is the first step to liberation. which means it's a first step to freedom, which means also it's a first step to change because now you are aware of that. Okay, so in this, the cat and the lion, this is actually an illusion here. And the question is, for the cat, how many of you see yourself as a victim or a victor? Meaning, do you feel like everybody's blaming you, or do you feel like, wow, everything just is perfect for you? Okay, and how aware are you of that? So, meaning a victim, when I'm seeing some faces, it just means that somebody might come up to you and ask you something, and you might say, oh, how could they, what's wrong with them? Don't they know that I don't do that? So what we're doing is just being aware of your attitude, okay? So, and then your environment is everything to you.
Bright colors?
Is my voice loud enough without the microphone? Okay, so I'll just talk.
Oh, you get to speak up and I get to make loud noise. That's part of our environment. Also, we just wanted you to notice that we tried to set the environment special with the rose and the pretty red tablecloth and the gold up around us, just as little ways of making this day special for us and for you. Does anybody feel better when they wear the colors that they love and the bright colors? Do you ever get extra compliments when you're wearing your nicer things, the ones that make you feel best in each day? Does anybody give you an extra compliment saying
Yes.
how nice you look today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And thoughts. I'll let Corey tell you about thoughts.
Well, thoughts are awareness in your mind, as we've been talking about, an attitude. It's the stories that you tell yourselves, and it is how you inspire other people with your thoughts and how you can change your environment by just thinking that you would like to have people in, and you wear your nice fancy clothes and your thoughts, everybody gathers and you feel really good about yourself.
And what are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself you're just a little pussycat? Or are you telling yourself, wow, this is my best day ever? And what are you looking forward to in the day? What are you asking yourself? How can you make this day better and better?
So our environment plays a big role, as we were talking. So research shows that 80% of your life is environment. There's been research that when they take drug addicts and different people that have been in treatment centers, and they take them and they're cured and they're doing really well. When they go back into their environment, then they have a relapse. They go back into their old habits. So what we're seeing is making your environment work for you. So for example, if you were on a diet, you wouldn't leave chocolate all over your room and cookies and all kinds of things that would tempt you. So the reason that you want to pay attention to your environment is how it feels to you and where you want to go, and it keeps your thoughts in the right direction. It keeps your attitude high.
It's you being in control of what's happening. So now I'm going to get Corey to take this next slide, the next one, and the other next, and show around the group for those that have trouble seeing it. And the concept of this tool is that you're in control of your life. And I'm going to tell you how it works. And it's the basic key concept of it is, are you above the line or are you below the line? And when you have a buddy, and we'll count all of you to here together as the buddies of this program, because you're all understanding the rules of the program are you win when you stay above the line. And that means when you have ownership of your attitude and accountability on what you're doing, like consistently, are you doing what you said you would do? And it means responsibility. The ownership and the accountability and the responsibility, you can be reminded of what's happening there because they spell oar. You put your oar in the water and it pushes you the direction you want to, or it turns you. It helps you control where you're going and what's going to happen. So that's just the reminder of this tool. Your buddies will notice if you're being below the line and you're blaming everybody else because of what's happening. Well, I'm hungry because the cook didn't make what I liked today. Oh, I can't do that because I lost my pills. Oh, that won't work because my son was supposed to come and he didn't come. Would you believe it? He had a car accident and he's not here? Imagine that. Below the line is blaming and finding excuses that the alarm didn't go off, or I just don't feel that good right now. But the worst one of those is denial. Have you ever seen anybody that has denied that they should quit driving their car because they can't quite reach the gas pedal anymore? Or they've denied that they can't see over to this side, and they're denying that they need to quit eating all that chocolate. All of those, for remembering, is like the bed. You're below the line. And with buddies around here, all you have to do is say, are you above or are you below the line? And they get to decide if they're taking ownership. You don't have to accuse, you don't have to correct them, you don't have to remind them, and vice versa. They get to ask you, and you don't have to explain or make excuses. You decide whether it's accountable or not.
So would you say that that line is more or less an awareness line? It's an awareness. So
Totally.
it's just if you put your arms out, it's just being aware. You're either above or you're below,
Or your thumb on the top,
or your thumb on the bottom.
or whether you're thinking thoughts that don't make you happy, or whether you're appreciating how nice this place is, clean and comfortable and supportive of what you're needing. So we're just inviting you to consider how your habits are happening with your thoughts and your actions, how your environment is serving you or not serving you, and how your awareness is. Any other comments, Corey?
Well, your thoughts, everything is controlled by your attitude, your thoughts, and your environment. And also your responses are controlled. And then in the end, it brings the question down to choices. If you're living below the line, are you making the right choices? The choices that make you happy, the choices that make you feel good, the choices that just bring you joy in your life.
And the choices of whether you're focusing on the big important things or the other parts that are just getting in your way.
Yeah, so the golf balls, we want those in first. That's what we choose. We choose our family, our health, our friends, and our children. We want those all to be the most important things in our life. And then you take your other things and they fill in, and then all the little busy stuff is the sand that fills in at the end. Because what we want is you to have the awareness that the water fills in through everywhere, and that's where you're going to get a lot of happiness, because that's where you've made choices.
Well, you'll get happiness if you think happy thoughts, if you're above the line.
Yes.
If you're below the line, the water might get a little cloudy.
Exactly.
Yes. So now we'll give you a little bit of time and some pencils to write on the back of your page for some ideas that you might have of how you could make your days a little bit better. And I'll put on some music to help inspire you.
So just try and think of a few things that you might like to make your days better, and things maybe even your workers here, your girls that help you, that they might not even be aware of it.
If you have any questions, just put your hand up and we'll try to re-explain what...
I think your program is a little late for us.
I totally disagree, but I'm delighted.
You're not 93.
My mom's 91.
I don't care.
Have you got tomorrow and the next day?
We all hope so.
Yeah, and so you can only play with the day that you've got, right? But I love that you voiced it. That is really good, because if that's
The audience is majority.
the majority, huh? Yeah. And you have a question?
Just a point. Where is it now? Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
She said today is the first day of the rest of our lives. That's a perspective. And you get the choice. We all get the choices of what we want to put out or think about. Comments?
So we have a choice to be happy in the moment. My aunt is 90 years old, and she chooses to she can't see very well and she can't hear very well, but she chooses for the family to, just give a dingle and come and pick me up, and let's just go out and have an ice cream cone. And that makes, in that particular day, that is what gives her happiness that day. So
Every day is a challenge.
Absolutely. Every day is a challenge for everybody, whether you're 93 or whether you're 33. Just different challenges, I think. Do you have a comment?
If you wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to be happy this day, no matter what happens, you're going to be happy. And your friends and people that you associate with, you can be happy, whether there's problems or not. I know that.
And I'd just like to repeat that so that the others can hear and so that we can get it recorded. And so I'll say it and then you can amend me if I haven't heard it correctly. She said, if we wake up in the morning and decide we're going to be happy, we can be happy. And it is our own personal choice every day if we're going to be happy. And I thank you for that perspective. Do you need to correct it?
No, that's exactly right.
Thank you. And yes, we have another question in the back.
Those choices not only affect ourselves and our days happening, it affects our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, it goes on and on. Our choice affects us, but it affects everyone else too.
Perfect. Do you want to repeat that one, Corey?
it's our choices that we make in the present moment affect our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren. Because if we the example, ask our children or to even just to phone them and say hi, they have a better outlook on life because they remember the good things. Yeah.
But most of all, it affects yourself.
Yeah.
You
Take
wake
the
up.
microphone to. Just, excuse me. Just put the microphone to
Your
about this.
own-
Oh, let me just put the microphone
No,
so
it's
you can say
okay.
it right.
It affects your own personality. It affects yourself. The day, if you wake up happy and say, I'm going to be happy no matter what, that will affect your day and affect those others around you.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt lived here for a short while, down that long lane there, and she used to tell me that way. She says, it's your own choice whether you're happy. But she could hardly walk down the hallway. So she said, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, all the way down.
Well, I have another good example. When I was 20 years old, I had a best friend that I went all through school with him, and they were going skiing, and his car flipped over, and he's become a quadriplegic. So he can't move from the neck down. And so he's been like that for 42 years. And he has been in the Tabor nursing home there, and he just lays there, but he's the head of the canteen. He adds up the money. He goes and he sits, he goes around the board because he can't sit up, and he voices opinion. He is very, very busy, and he is very happy. And he looks at life different. He looks at it as if, I might be having problems that other people don't have, but I enjoy every day. I enjoy the people. He has so many people. He's got guest books that are that high. So his attitude is very high. And every morning he wakes up and he just says, I'm glad to be alive. And he has attracted so many people to him. He's now on Facebook, and he's got people all over the world. And that is choice. That's a choice he made. And there's probably not too many people that have had, from the outside world looking in, a very, very difficult life. So basically what we're saying is, you choose what you believe is happiness.
Thank you. Are there any other comments from the crowd?
Life is what you make it.
Well put. Life is what you make it. Thank you. And we have one.
It is true, like I've heard for
Microphone.
people have
Just a
said,
minute. Let me have you speak.
when people have said that the mother sets the mood in the home, if you get up grumpy and stuff, well then the rest of the kids and your husband are grumpy because you are.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Thank you.
She sets the tone.
You
Yeah.
bet.
Yes, she does.
And you do too, with your tone and with your smile and with your bright, pretty clothes and your welcoming. Just like you had said, it affects everybody around you.
I have a granddaughter-in-law.
Just a minute, we'll let you say it so they can hear.
I have a granddaughter-in-law who's from Mississippi, and she has a big plaque in her kitchen that says, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Yeah, that's
And
excellent.
that makes you smile, doesn't it?
And if you heard the other one where the analogy of the man is the head and the woman is the neck, and the neck moves the head, but the head thinks it's moving itself. So that when the wife has a good attitude, everything is good.
So just in summary, we would like to suggest that you share your poem with those around you and that you read it on occasion to remember whether the habits that you're using are your friendly best habits or whether they're the ones that are taking you below the line. And we would invite you to think of a new habit that might make your day or somebody else's day a little bit better?
If you can think of one thing before you leave this room, tiny, tiny little step that you want to make to move forward, just write it on your sheet or tell somebody next to you. Might be going to bed early, going to bed later, might be having, sitting at a new table, talking to someone, anything, even smiling at somebody in the hallway. Just write down one thing, action step that you can leave here with today.
And or to keep the attitude that you're going to be happy. Don't put that one away. Also, because we're all buddies, because you all know about the above or below the line, could you be open to somebody asking you, is that above or below the line? Just to keep you aware, and that you could respectfully ask them, are you above or below the line?
So let's just have a show of hands. Would that work for you in here if somebody was, you were thinking that something wasn't quite right, instead of reprimanding them or being rude? Would it work for you just to say, are you living above the line? Or is that a hard one?
It's only the people that know about the line,
Yeah.
but that's your buddy, the ones that are here.
And that's without judgment. It's just because sometimes we don't have awareness. And it's just a really good friend that can just help you, keep you on track, which ultimately brings joy into your life. Because you don't actually even know a lot of times some of the things that are going on that you're doing.
Is there anybody that would like to give a tip or a suggestion of what might be useful of those ideas that are going around here?
Well,
Yeah.
a smile doesn't cost a thing, maybe a wrinkle or two, but
That's very good.
And just for the recording, she says a smile doesn't cost anything. Nor does a compliment, does it? Yeah. I think also that sometimes if we clear away things in our own room for a little while, that when we bring them out again, we are grateful for them again and become more aware. So some of your memories can be refreshed in that way. Any other comments?
Yes, so whatever you put into your life, however you see yourself, how your environment supports you will determine your habits, which will keep you living above or below the line. Are you willing to take that chance, open your eyes and your heart, and allow yourself to inspire others? So how many of you are willing to take a chance to inspire somebody? And that's even as small as a smile.
And getting a buddy like Corey, or being a buddy like Corey.
Yeah, or Jean, because a lot of times when we do things, we might have a day where we're tired and we're kind of not at our top notch, and then we have somebody that's a buddy and they're going, come on, let's go and let's do this, and by the end of the day you're just all revved up. So that's what we have found, how important it is to stay connected with each other.
well, just one thing. One good thing, well, you don't have to give me my.
Oh yes, go for it.
One good thing that we do in here, in the mornings, we exercise together, a few of us, and that's good. I like it.
Well, that's
Awesome.
excellent. So now you've formed your own group that you feel comfortable with, because they're all love to do the same thing as you do.
And it's a good habit. And it's an awesome habit. It does your body good, it does your attitude good, keeps you stronger, and the liking it is even a double bonus. That's like a double header.
And I think all of you should give yourself credit for just coming and to have an open mind and listen in groups like this to move yourself ahead. You know, just to learn one smile, and that is moving ahead. But just to step out like this, I think is very commendable.
I've never seen it, heard of it being evaluated. It makes a difference.
Yes.
And you get to be the evaluator. That's the good part, because we all love control and we all think we're totally responsible for the good, except for the bad things. That's somebody else's fault.
So the line is, just think of it is your attitude. Are you going up? Or are you going down? And it'll make the biggest change in your life with the awareness.
A lot of this, keep trying.
Keep trying.
Keep
That's-
going. You got another day, use it to your best.
It's just like the hands and the thumb. At first, when you're trying, it feels uncomfortable, and then you change the other one, and it starts to get easier and easier all the time. And that's exactly how our attitudes, our life, everything is just like that.
So we'll thank you very much for your participation and for your showing up. That's very much appreciated by our part. Thank you.